And cutting across to breaking news coming in, CPJ, that is Committee to Protect Journalists, has released a statement backing Republic TV. CPJ has called on the Mumbai police to stop trying to intimidate journalists at Republic TV and drop all criminal investigations. Cutting across to Niranjan, who's joining us on the phone line with all the details. Over to you, Niranjan.
Well, you've seen the kind of support that Republic TV is getting and the Republic Media Network is getting from across India. Several, press bodies have spoken out. And, Shravan, I think, is also joining us on the phone. But, I'm just going to read out some excerpts of it because, through all of this, it's unprecedented that any channel editorial staff, this is complete editorial staff, was mentioned in an FIR. And yesterday, more editors were summoned. Sagarika and Shivani were at the police station, once again being questioned on a story and a source. It's never happened before in independent India, especially with a law that was invoked, a law which is 100 years old. And this particular statement by the CPJ and an article that was put out on CPJ says that CPJ, or the Committee to Protect Journalists, calls on the Mumbai police to stop trying to intimidate journalists at Republic TV, which has been the case so far with the Mumbai police. And they've also asked for all investigations to be dropped into the news channel. The article further goes on to say that on October 23rd, Mumbai police opened an investigation into 5 members of the privately held news channel's editorial team in relation to a critical report on the police chief, Paramveer Singh. And they're going on to cite different reports. And they're citing the different reports and talking about how they're talking about the details of that story. They talk about how Shivani, Sagarika, Shravan, and myself, we were all questioned by the Mumbai police and named in their FIR, and the different accusations that were named, that were mentioned, including that of defamation and trying to cause disaffection among the police personnel. And the CPJ's senior researcher has said on record that the growing number of legal investigation into journalists at Republic TV is concerning, adding that the police should drop these charges, they should do their job and let the journalists do theirs. And they've gone to talk about how they found guilty of causing disaffection among the police personnel. Shivani, Sagarika, Shravan and myself and the unnamed staff members could face up to 6 months of imprisonment and fines according to the Police Disaffection Act. The punishment for defamation is 2 years imprisonment or a fine or both according to the IPC. And I can tell you, Suesha, the entire indication has been in the last couple of weeks and then even yesterday that the Mumbai police is very serious about this particular charge and they want to take it forward and they may be moving court as well after this investigation is done. Now, Republic TV has been, saying that this is a grave attack. It's a part of the vendetta politics and Paramveer, one man's, target to sort of bring down Republic, somehow fix Republic. Paramveer Singh, and we are told that the Mumbai police did not respond to the CPJ's email requesting a comment. But CPJ did write to the Mumbai police asking them to immediately respond. Now, they go on to also talk about how an investigation was opened into Republic TV's Pradeep Bhandari as well for disobeying police by gathering the crowd. Allegedly, that's another fake charge that they foisted in September. They've also mentioned how Republic TV journalists were detained. And they're making a reference to Anuj, a video journalist, and also a driver who were detained for nearly 6 days in Raigad district, when they were following the Sushant Singh Rajput story. Now, back then the police claimed that they were trespassing. And, essentially what is happening is across India, there is so much of support and people are seeing through what is happening here in Mumbai and in Maharashtra under Uddhav Thackeray government and under Paramveer Singh. Now, more and more people, yesterday, in fact, we had more press bodies also come out and join this protest and speak out. In fact, several letters were written. In Karnataka, several letters were written. In Chhattisgarh, several letters written. Now, these are letters written to the authorities and the governors in the respective states to ensure that there is some sort of intervention to this witch hunt. So, CPJ has now written, just going on to sort of tell you about how, more and more bodies are speaking up, exposing and speaking out against the state-backed oppression of the free press in Maharashtra and in Mumbai specifically, because there doesn't seem to be any let-up. Again, today, Ghanshyam has been summoned by the crime branch in Mumbai. And we don't know how many more people will be summoned because we have indications that more and more people could be summoned in the next few days in all of these fake cases that they've tried to foist against us. Yeah, and Suresh, just one more thing, because I know what happens is every time we broadcast a story like this, we are told that, there is a specific team in the Mumbai police and in Maharashtra government comprising bureaucrats, IPS and IAS officers as well, and a special team, as also mentioned in the sting operation where a Congress man was heard on record saying that there is a team tracking Republic TV to fix Republic TV. Now, we have also been told that this team monitors, every minute of what goes on Republic TV. To that team, I want to say that, people are speaking out across India, and they can't try and escape what's happening, because more and more press bodies are speaking out. And if they think that people will stay quiet about this, they are wrong. Across India, we're seeing protests. Yesterday, several visuals also came in from different parts of Mumbai of protests being held against Parambir Singh. And they also know that journalists work based on sources that they build over years. And every story that is carried, in fact, all the stories that they are planting in different newspapers and channels are also based on sources. So the same people who plant stories are now questioning a credible story that Republic TV carried. And we have proof, and in fact, we stand by our story where we said that several officers had spoken out against Parambir Singh and had raised the banner of revolt because they didn't agree with what was happening in the Mumbai police. We stand by it, and I think more and more people are speaking out against it. The fact is, even CPJ has written to the Mumbai police, which is to respond to this complaint. Yes, I think Shawan is also joining us live. Shawan, looking at more and more statements coming from different press bodies about what's happening. They have to stop this madness at some point.
Well, in fact, Niranjan,
go ahead.
Well, in fact, Niranjan, this statement that has now been put out by a CPJ, and I'm quoting from the article that has been basically put out. In fact, one of the senior Asia researchers has basically said that the growing number of legal investigations into journalists at Republic TV is concerning. The research goes on to say that police should drop these charges, they should do their job, and the journalists do theirs. This is a very strong statement that has been put out by the CPJ, and not just CPJ. There have been several press bodies across the country who have basically come together and have basically spoken about how this entire action by the Mumbai police is nothing but of a nullified intention. Now, that is the reason why several people have raised this question that today what the Mumbai police is essentially doing is misusing the power, especially given the fact that when journalists have been spooked, it is important for everyone to know the sections that have been basically invoked against the journalists of Republic TV. It's an archaic law to begin with. And secondly, if you speak to a cross-section of IPS officers, they would essentially tell you that in their entire career, perhaps they've used these sections only once. And that's the kind of frequency with which these sections are essentially used. So today, when Parambir Singh, who's leading the Mumbai police, is invoking these sections, it is not just disheartening, but at the same time, it is extremely dangerous. And this is the reason why today renowned press bodies are basically issuing statements raising this entire action that has been used by the Mumbai police. So this is once again a clear reflection of what's actually happening in Mumbai, how voices of journalists are being muzzled by the Mumbai police, and that is the reason why today you're looking at more and more people coming together and supporting Republic TV in its battle against Parambir Singh.
Thank you, Shawan, for joining us with those inputs. I'm handing it back to you, Suresha. We have more pictures, in fact, of people showing solidarity with Republic Media Network. We'll keep getting those pictures as well.
Absolutely. And fact remains that the Mumbai police has been wronged at multiple levels when it comes to making these allegations against Republic. The support that is only getting bigger and wider for Team Republic. And now the CPJ also seeking a response from the Mumbai police to stop trying to intimidate journalists at Republic TV and drop all criminal investigations. We continue to get you more reactions. For the moment, we move on.